it always takes a while to sort, but I can do yoga, but it's just a bit sore and I'm on painkillers, so it's fine. Anyway, so bad backs, prevention and treatment at the moment. So we've done a lot of work in the last couple of weeks on the lower back, and obviously, you know, we've done bits and pieces that work on the top as well. What I wanted to do today was work particularly on the shoulders and the upper back. You seem a long way away. So that's what today is about. And I don't know if you've seen the thing I've uploaded to Facebook, you'll see that there's a big red line showing that there's masses of work on the shoulders and the upper back. So nothing to be scared of. None of these things are anything that you haven't done before. So we will start with Uttanasana. So feet hip width apart or a little bit closer. Bringing the hands up, inhaling. Turn the hands around. And just continue with this, just circling them around, just bringing a little bit of movement to the shoulders and the wrists. And look along one hand and then the other to make sure that you're nice and straight. Okay, see if you can get a little bit more turn here. Okay, palms up, exhale, inhaling up. Stretch really nice and tall and try and get these shoulders to come down. That's it, much nicer. So stretching the hands up nice and tall, shoulders down. Good. So we're going to all go towards that way. So inhale and exhale across to that side. Good. Looking good. Inhaling back up and exhaling to the other side. Inhaling up, stretching tall, shoulders down, and exhaling back down. Okay, we'll just move from side to side, as so. Nice gentle warm-ups. And then you can pick the heels up as well. The cleaning lady wants to come on Saturdays. Isn't that nice? You don't have to talk to people very long before having a conversation with them, and then they discover that there's things that you can do that help them. Okay, rolling the shoulders forwards and down. So we're shrugging up and down. Listen to all those clicks, and in the opposite direction. Okay. Where do I want to go? Hands on the shoulders. Elbows together, and then circling around. So you see where we're going here. We're just bringing some lubrication. We often will do some cat-cows, particularly when we're working on that lower half of the body. We're working particularly on the shoulders and upper half today, so nicely warming that up other direction before we do much more. Okay. Can you kind of do that? I don't quite know how to explain it, but a sort of snaky kind of thing. And try the opposite direction, which is just weird.
Isn't this the way from the 80s dance?
Yeah, it's a kind of wavy thing. Okay, good. Right, we're going to do this again later on, but I want us to just work on this. Shoulders externally rotating, so they come forwards, then out and up and back. And you can either just do it with your hands to the side like this, or you can interlace the fingers. And what you're working on is bringing these shoulder blades together behind. So nice, gentle, make sure your neck can move nicely. But we are really working on these shoulder blades coming together at the back.
That's what I couldn't do last time. Remember, I couldn't put my...
How are you now?
Not much better. I can't, oh. Yeah.
So we're going to do some humble warrior work later, which works on that a little bit more. Now, I do know, when I did my teacher training, my teacher was a bit hot on, she says, not everyone can actually physically do this. There's just something with their shoulders that means that they can't. So if you can't, don't push it, because you just made one of those people that physically can't. So don't worry about it. Good. Right, we're just going to do some just standing sun salutations. So nice and simple. Inhaling up. So it's a slight back bend here. exhaling down. So we do swan diving down and letting the fingertips come down towards the floor. They probably won't touch yet. You can bend one knee and then the other. If you'd like, just let the head hang. Again, just a warning for people with sciatica, this pose may not work terribly well for you, in which case, don't do it. Inhaling up to a sort of tabletop. So I've got a nice straight back here, that's it. Looking forwards. So if I had a marble on the top of my head, it would just roll down and then hopefully just sit somewhere on my back. Exhaling, palms back down to the floor. If you can get them, and it's fine to bend the knees. And then circling up, inhaling up. Into the back bend again. Exhaling, hands to heart centre. So just a nice gentle half sun salutation. So we'll just do this a few times. I suggest you do your eyes closed if you can, just do it quite meditatively, inhaling up. Swan dive down on the exhale. Fingertips to the floor. Inhale to that tabletop. Shoulders relaxing back. Exhale, palms down. Inhaling back up. Into that back bend. Exhaling, hands to heart centre. Inhaling up. Swan dive down. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale, palms down. Inhale up. So let's do that a few times just in your own time. Watch you for a round. Good. Just finish off with whatever you are doing now. It doesn't matter if you're right at the beginning. Okay, so just we'll do a little bit of work on the lower legs, not that that's the main focus today. We're just going to do these side lunges that we do. So whichever foot you can mirror me if you want. If you're mirroring me, it's your left foot. Comes out to the sort of corner of the mat. We're bending over that, bringing the chest down, and then the hands are coming behind as they would if we were doing a sort of airplane pose. So coming nice and low here, inhaling up, feet back together. And then the other foot comes down. And you're letting that chest come over the knees. Inhaling up, exhaling down. So yes, working particularly the quads here, but there's also quite a lot of movement coming into the shoulders. Back, just work on these shoulder blades coming together and the shoulders coming away from the ears. We often talk about the shoulders and the ears as being enemies in yoga. Going back to the centre, just find yourself to the top end of the mat. A couple of little lunges here. So stepping one foot forward, dropping the other knee down. Being nice and tall. So now, bringing the hands to the sides. And we're going to take a little twist here. So the opposite hand to the knee that's raised. So if your left knee is up, right hand coming over, left coming behind. So you're just twisting. I've still got my ears above my shoulders. I'm not leaning forwards. Just a nice gentle twist, coming back. Just the hands to the sides here, and we'll twist the other way. hands up. And now think about that back foot, the hand that's nearest to that. You're going to come down with that hand towards that back foot. So you're kind of opening up into these adductors here. Looking back down at that back heel. Stretching tall with the other hand. Looking really nice. Maybe coming a little bit further back if you can. Inhaling the hands up. And I suggest that you step forwards and then step the other leg back. So again, we'll start just nice and low in this lunge. The idea with these lunges, if you can, is to get the this leg parallel to the ground. Bringing the hands up to the sides. Stretching out to the sides, exhaling into the twist. That's it. Good. Inhaling to the side. Twisting side. Stay nice and low. Inhaling up with the hands. Now this, think about where the back leg is. It's that hand that's coming down. Looking back, pointing towards that back heel, stretching the opposite hand up, stay nice and low in this lunge. Okay, so these hands right high up. That's it. Pointing to they're tending to go back, up high. That's it. And looking back down at this back heel. Lovely. Okay, stepping forwards. So that's nice and warm, isn't it? Check it out. Next, I'm thinking about doing just a lunge focus next week, so this is just getting you ready for it. Alright, so.
I suddenly feel faint for next week.
This is the trouble when I tell people what we're doing next. So it's going to be a power class and no one turns up. Okay, toes together or hip width apart. Tucking the chin, and we'll just roll ourselves down. Slight bend in the knees. You'll see how this forward fold feels now. We've done a little bit more work. Putting the left hand on the floor in the middle, right hand stroking up and away. So the palm is facing away and we're looking up at the upstretched hand. So we're trying with keeping both the knees together, because what wants to happen is the opposite knee wants to hop forward. Knees together, we're trying to stack that top shoulder on top of the bottom one. Coming back down, switch the hands around, and then looking up at the opposite hand, palms away. Looking good. I've decided I'm not going to bother with left and right, people can just go with whichever way they want with these. Hands coming back down again. Okay, and coming up. That's it. So we're going to do that little version of Trikonasana that I do with the beach ball. So, bring one foot forwards with your knee bent. The other foot, just have it so that it's sort of comfortable behind you. So, you're stretching forwards, looking for that beach ball. Let's bring it down to the ground. Stretching forwards here. So again, your chest is over that knee. And really, really slowly, with your abs switched on, we're going to bring the beach ball up. Looking up. Stretching it really tall and above us. Inhaling, exhaling, making your shoulders nice and relaxed. Okay, dropping it back down again. Placing the beach ball down, and then the forward hand, the hand that's near the front knee, that just comes inside that foot, and we're going to stroke the other hand up, just the elbow pointing away. So we've got a bend in the front knee, so it's slightly different to the normal Trikonasana. So see if we can get the elbows pointing up towards 12 o'clock, and when they're there and you're comfortable, you can take the hands up and away. So what I'm working on here is having, as if I've got a pane of glass in front and behind me, so I'm not sticking my butt out. Looking up at that hand. Right, then bend the elbow and come back down the way that you came. Picking the beach ball up, keeping that knee bent. Up. And it floats away, and then we do the same on the other side. So bending that knee, picking the beach ball up, inhaling your way up, stretching tall and high, nice bend in the knee, stretching away, exhaling back down, you go up and down one more time, really stretching that away, your hands away from you here, getting nice and low, inhaling up, stretching the beach ball away from you, and dropping it down again, all with control. The inside hand comes inside that forward ankle, stroking up, pointing the elbow up. Once you're sure you've got that nice sort of 12 to 6 alignment, we then pop the palm up, palm away from us. Good. Just going to come to some teeny. So a little bit more up towards the 12. That's it. Up a little bit towards that. Lovely. And this is your dodgy shoulders again. And try if you can to tuck the right hip sort of in like that. Yeah? Tucking it up. So you're tucking this right buttock kind of under. Yeah. Good. Going down again to your beach ball. Letting it go. And finding your way up again. Well done. Are you feeling that?
No.
Right, we'll have to do some more then. Alright, some warriors. We did quite a lot of warriors the other day actually.
Only because we are obediently following the instructions doesn't mean we're not lagging.
Okay, so I'm doing this on my right, you can do it whichever side you'd like first. So with warrior, we again have this bent knee. The back foot is like a sort of T junction, if you like, with the heel. That's it. Floating the hands up. Check forwards and back. Stretching those hands out. Reverse the warrior, so that front hand comes, the palm comes up, and we tip, 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 tip. Looking up as we go. Lovely. Coming back into your warrior 2. Extend the side angle so that front hand comes down just gently over that raised knee. And let's tick-tock the other arm back and round. So you're all facing me with those fingers. Look under those hands, and then if you can, pick up the other hand and go to get your imaginary beach ball at this point as well. And again, if you can stay quite low. And I've got that pane of glass again, so this shoulder is above the other shoulder, so I'm not doing that. Good. Breathe. Soft faces. Bottom hand back on the bottom leg, tick-tock, back around into your warrior 2. This is where we're going to take the humble warrior. So we've rehearsed this already. Shoulders externally rotating. If you can do so, get those hands behind you and then fold yourself over that front leg with the hands coming nice and high. Yeah, and we're all at very, very different places in terms of our flexibility here. That's fine. Don't work through pain. Inhaling back up. You can unravel yourself and take onto the other side, bending that front knee, floating the hands up, checking our alignment. Flip the palm. Work our way up. That hand coming right up into the air, the other hand coming down. Leg behind. Looking up at that hand. Breathing. Tucking the tailbone under. Thinking about the weight across the feet. Okay, coming back into warrior 2, making sure we're nice and low on that, and that the knee is tracking as if it was going to go over the front toes. Good. It's very easy for us to end up going one way or the other. Checking your alignment. Extend the side angle, so dropping that front hand gently over the thigh. Pendulum swing the back arm round, stretching in front of you so that you're coming, yeah, that top hand is coming all the way over to the window for most of you. And when you're ready, the bottom hand can come out all into a C shape there, getting that beach ball again. Keep nice and low, keep those abs switched on. Good. Let the hand come back to the top of the leg, pendulum swing your way back. Into warrior two, hands come down. And let's, we forgot humble warrior. Back to warrior two. Externally rotate the shoulders. Fingers together. Roll yourself down over that front leg, letting the hands come up nice and high. Breathing in here. Looking good. Inhale yourself up and shake the arms. Either heel toe back together or jump. Shake it out a little. Good. Right. Check. Alright. Sneaking in. So, if you prefer to have a block between your thighs for chair, you can do so. But the main thing is that you're not going knock-kneed on this. Good. So, we stick the bottom back. Make sure that the feet are parallel. Maybe feet in a tad. That's it, parallel. Good. Hands in front to begin with. Sit nice and low, and then if you can, bring in the hands a little bit higher. Good. Okay, let's try coming onto our tips of our toes. And you may find that you get a little bit straighter, but still stay nice and low in your chair. Oh yeah. Stretching those hands up. Coming back down onto the heels. And then we're going to try a little twist. So I'm taking my left hand to the knee and then the right hand up and away. Keeping those knees parallel. That's it. Inhaling back up to the centre. And then we'll twist the other way. Inhaling back up to the centre. Once more onto the toes. Sitting back. Hands nice and high. And relax. Back down. That is chair out of the way. Eagle. Hands. We're racing through them today, aren't we? Hands. You all know what you're doing. That's so nice. Hands in front. I will mirror you this time. So left elbow over right, and then twist those hands around. So your left hand is probably the uppermost one, and you either have your palms together like this, or you try and grab whatever you can. Good. And what we're trying to do is get the elbows away and the hands away. Now, because we're trying to work this upper back here, try tick-tocking like a clock. Try not doing this, but you're trying to get this movement sort of from the arms. Good. And then holding it still. If you want to try with the legs as well, crossing left over right. Once you break balance, you can bend forwards. All of these little optional extras, you don't have to do them, but you should be feeling a really lovely stretch across the back of the shoulders. With control, coming back up, stretching away, taking the hands down, feet down rather, roll them. Starting to feel that my upper arms are working here. On the other side, so right over left this time. Getting these hands together and away. Try that clock thing. So you may find that one side was a lot easier than the other with this this side is not nice for me. Letting it be still, pushing it away, then right foot over the left, right foot over the left leg, calming down. Again, pushing these elbows away from the shoulders, hands away from the head. Inhaling back up with control, taking the feet back, and roll the hands, rolling the shoulders. Good. Right. We're going to come down into downward facing dog now. So we'll do this from the top of the mat, rolling ourselves down into a forward fold, and walking our hands out to find us in a downward dog. So yeah, using blocks if you want under your wrists, walking the dog out, hips nice and high, bringing the sort of fronts of the legs towards the backs of the legs, letting these heels settle down. Good. Right, so we're going to try a little twist here. So picking up the right hand and keeping your hips level to put that hand around the left knee or the left kind of calf.
Do that again.
Okay. I just want to watch and check. Okay, back into downward dog. Now pick up the left hand around the right leg. Back into dog and just drop down into child. Just have a little bit of a rest there. It's quite strong. We're not doing masses in dog today, but the things we're doing in dog are quite tough.
Child feels really good on the legs after all that.
It does, and you know, I find that the longer I go into a class, every dog I'm more grateful for, and my body is embracing the dogs by the end of it, whereas at the beginning my body's kind of going, no, I don't want to do this. Okay, so you can bring yourself back into dog again. We're going to pick up the right foot and let that right heel push away from us. So this is your three-legged dog. So we're working here on the left heel coming down and our hips staying still quite nice and square. Now we're going to take that scorpion tail, so the right heel is going to come into the buttock and we're opening out the hips. Beautiful. Looking really nice. Opening the opening the knee up towards the ceiling. Good. Pushing that foot away. Now we're going to try wild thing, if you can remember. So keeping that right foot up, we're crossing it over onto the floor behind to the side of the left foot. And opening out. So if you need to watch me do that, I know some of you have done this with me before, others it was probably quite a long time away. So we've got our dog, right heel back, and then you're just opening out, letting that foot drop back, and then the hands up and round. If it's too tough, you can do it, you keep the knee down on the other side and just do it with the knee down instead. Right, let's just try with the knee down instead. So let's do that. Yeah, good. So all you're doing really with a full dog is this top leg comes back a little bit further towards that wall, and obviously you're up on the foot. Yasmin, let's see how you are with this. Try bringing this foot a little bit further back. That's it. And what you're trying to do is sort of tuck around and really bringing these hips up and round. Good, good. We'll try this on the other side in a minute. a three-legged dog on the left side. Work on this positioning, trying to get this right heel down, and then the left heel comes into the butt, and we're opening out these hips. We're doing a similar sort of opening really when we go into the wild thing. Bringing that left heel back again into your three-legged dog, and now you're ready for your wild thing by taking that foot back, along my back. And can you see how my hips are really, really high here? And it's like I'm almost going into a crab, but with this hand up. And I'm not super flexible, I'm not very gymnastic either, so I can do it, most people can. It's looking very nice cat. Well done, that's looking great. And come back and take a little bit of a break in a pose of your choice. Good, right. We are going to do some, I'm going to come this way. We're going to do some work in plank, but on the forearm now. So if you find yourself with your sort of sphinx hands, now just let the hips come down. Think with sphinx about the elbows coming back towards the hips, looking forwards. So this is a little bit of work on the lower back. Those elbows are going back towards the hips. Shoulder blades are coming towards each other, making sure that the feet are fairly close together. And when you're ready, we're going to lift the hips and we're going to come into a forearm plank, like so. And then turn the toes around. Trying to be really nice and straight here. If it's too much for you, do your plank on your knees. If you can't bear the forearm plank, just go up into a high plank on the hands as we normally would. Just going to hold this for a few breaths. It's quite strong, obviously, on the abs, lower back, but also across the shoulders. Dropping down to the knees and resting. Head on the hands when you're ready. I'm hearing a lot of puffing and panting here.
It's all from there.
You need to feel the lungs, you know.
Okay, pushing yourself back into a nice child pose. We're just going to do that little flow where we go from child through to cat, and then into the hanging cobra, where we just drop the hips down and take a slight back bend. Coming back again through cat, maybe tucking the toes into a very active child, Hasta Balasana, through cat, and then into your hanging cobra. So it's a little bit more active, a bit more strengthening and stretching than a standard cat-cow. Incorporating a nice little back bend as well. I've got to put my fingers up towards the sky when I'm in my child, make it really active. I love this little flow. So we're going to just take a couple more little back bends. So this is basically some work on the lower back. So come back down onto the ground. So you've got a choice here. You can either just work in locust, which is like this. So I have my feet off the ground, my hands either side like in the airplane pose, my chest off the ground, so that's locust. You can come in and out of that. Or if you want to take bow, either one foot or both feet, you can do that as an alternative as well. I'm sticking with locust today. So I suggest that you just hold these poses for a few breaths, have a little rest, come out of them, and then when you're ready, take them again. You can vary between one pose and the next if you'd like. Final opportunity. Really good for strengthening the lower back here. And so plenty of work going on the shoulders, back as well. And roll yourself back up into either a child pose or hare if you prefer. So the top of the head on the mat, hands either side of the feet. Opening out the back of the neck and just working as a counter pose really to all of those back bends that you've been doing. You got cramp? Good. Right, coming forward, I want to do an upward plank now. So if you sit on the bottom. Now your hands are meant to be pointing towards your toes in this. It's never that comfortable for me, so I tend to put them the other way. So I'm lifting my hips up, looking up towards the ceiling, just getting my hips nice and high here into an upward plank. Abs switched on, trying to get those hips as high as you can. I don't care if your bellies stick out, mine is too. And I can't really see anyway because I'm gazing at the ceiling. And I'm the one that's on camera. Coming out of it when you're ready. And take one more of those. Maybe try it with the hands in a slightly different position. Now the rest of the body's got used to it. My hands are more compliant. Your wrist giving you grief, Manu?
Yeah.
Okay. Good variant then, very good. Well done. Come down from it when you're ready. Oh, we've got time to throw boat in here. You won't need your wrist for boat. Here we go. Making sure those abs are switched on. So you can take this as high or low as you like. I mean, if it's tough for you, just do it on one leg. It's fine. If you want to straighten the legs, you can. Your shoulders are nice and relaxed. And we've done a lot of work, so if you're all bendy, wobbly, you're just like me. And lean forwards, hands under, around the ankles, into a form of tortoise, and just let your head drop. Relax for a few breaths, we'll just do one more. When you're ready, back up into boats. Okay, we're coming down to the quiet stuff now. Well done, you've worked really hard. Hopefully it's feeling good.
It is.
It's lovely. Particularly with the lunchtime class, I think getting a bit of an endorphin kick from the adrenaline that goes through with these poses is really, really good. So, we're going to just do a kind of an extension here. So, if you take your left knee out, left foot coming into the groin, so I'm mirroring you. Sit nice and tall now. If you're anything like me, we want something under the bottom just to be nice and straight here. And this right hand is coming down towards that toe. Other hand up and over, and we're looking under the left hand, the left elbow really. So we're trying to get this leg out to the side as much as possible. So this is one of those window panes really, where I've really got a very straight line from that toe through the knee, hip, shoulder. It's not perfect, but that's where we're going for. And then if you want to try and take the binds on that right foot, you can do so. I really should be feeling a nice pull in the left side of the torso. Maybe as the soft tissue settles, letting that left hand come down towards the foot as well. Good. Let's taking that left hand down, and we'll just come up into, what's this called? Half circles pose, I think. That's it. It's a little bit like the wild thing we were doing earlier. Not quite as extreme. Good. Sitting back down, switching those legs around. So try and get this leg as far out to the side as possible. Dropping the left hand down towards those left toes. Right hand comes up and over, sitting tall. You can take the bind if you'd like. Good. Inhaling up. And now we're going to take cow face. I'm not sure how you are with this, Linda. So this is the one where we have our knees on top of each other. So I think for you, Linda, it might be best to work on shoelace, where the feet are further forwards. Or, yeah, just have one. Just make sure. So my left knee is a bit weird at the moment. I'm certainly feeling these tighter postures. So maybe put a strap inside if you... Actually, I'm going to do that. Just take my own medicine. I end up myself with an injury. So you just wrap a strap and then tuck it inside the knee that is slightly problematic. What you're doing is just creating a bit more space in that joint. So these are cow face knees. Now, what you'd often do with this is that pose there. You can do that with a strap if you'd like. Obviously, I've got my strap in my knee. Sitting nice and tall. So we're going to try and get, I know most of you can do this and I can't actually. What we're working to is getting connection between the two fingertips. This arm coming really nice and high. Good. Coming back down. So we're just going to revolve this while we're here. So assuming you've got your left knee up, we're going to take the right hand over the left knee, left hand back and twist. So you're looking over that left shoulder. So probably starting to feel this in the left glute a little, and some useful places in the spine as well from the twist. Coming back to the centre. Now, just to take this, so calling this cow face, it's also known as shoelace. If you bring the feet forwards a little bit, and then try and take your weight forwards, you may find some interesting stretches going on. It's a little bit like the fire log that I do. Feel alright? those in the class that have hypermobile hips are loving this.
This might be a good one for Nick.
If he can get into it, yeah. Yeah, it
it's
would
not
be.
working the hamstring at all.
That's true, yeah. That's a good point, yeah. I was so Nick, who can't ever feel his glutes in any normal glutes exercise, we managed to find an exercise for him on a chair on Saturday that got his glute stretching. But yeah, shoelace. I'll try this on Saturday with him. That's good. Okay, coming up and opening these legs up. Let's just windscreen wipe from one side to the other. And then put the other knee underneath. Again, if you've got issues with any of the knees, just tuck something in between them. So what we're trying to do is get one knee on top of the other. It doesn't work for everyone, so if you just need to be more cross-legged, that's fine. My hips are not, I never think my hips are that open, but I do find these poses relatively straightforward. So this time it's right hand up, or the opposite, I think. Yeah. So if you're mirroring me, it'll be left arm up. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling, my glutes are just aching now from these. That's good. Aching is good.
It may not work, but I thought if it's not using the hamstring.
Yeah. Okay, calming down, and then we'll just take the twist. So, assuming your right knee is up, your left hand will come over it, the right hand behind, looking back over that shoulder. Coming back to the centre, letting the feet come forward a little bit, and then just working our hands forwards, really stretching out these glutes and hips, and doing whatever variants you need to do. And our final three postures are all really nice, so no stress with them, sitting up nice and tall. Whew. Right, onto our backs. So shins up, so they're parallel with the floor. Hands extended either side. Let the knees be above the hips. Shins parallel, and drop down towards the right with your knees. Looking over your left, so you've got a nice little rotation happening here. Nice deep breaths, particularly into the areas that are stretching. Inhaling the knees up again, and exhale down to the other side. Ideally looking over the opposite hand. Inhaling back up to the centre, and you can either just take another couple of nice slow stretches like that, or if you want to do something a little bit more dynamic, you can move from one side to the other. Do whatever you feel you need to do today. So coming back with your knees above the hips, we'll circle those knees around, so like we're doing breaststroke legs. The knees in one direction and then the other. I kind of feel the need for a bridge, so let's go with it. Heels down, hands on either side of the buttocks. And you can either just do some pelvic tilts here, if that feels good for you, or if you would like to lift the hips up into a bridge, you can do so. And again, I'm going to leave you to do whatever you'd like here. If you want to come up and down, you can. If you want to hold, you can. If you want to hold up, lifting one leg up in front of you, and then switching that around. You can do so. We've done a lot of work on the abs today, so that may not be what your body's calling out for just yet. Let's go with whatever you'd like. The hands can come up above the head. So many variants that we can do in bridge. Good. So if you can come over onto your left side, yeah, we'll do it on the same side. So your knees are going to be up at hip height, with your shins parallel to the long edge of the mat. We'll crocodile hold the hands in front of us. Good. So you'll be familiar with this. We're going to, with that top right hand, we're going to push that nicely far away from us, and then bring it back across, so you're keeping skin to skin contact all the time, up the left hand and arm, and then across the collarbones, and then pointing the hands away from you, so opening up, trying to get both shoulder blades on the floor if you can, bend the elbow, stroking back, pushing that hand away from you. And we'll do this for a few rounds. So just finishing really with some postures to really open out these shoulders. Hopefully they're really nicely lubricated, so you've got more stretch and comfort here at this point in the class than you would have done had we done these at the beginning, which is often when I put these little exercises. One more. And then when you're back in the crocodile hands this time, you trace a rainbow arc across the top above your head, all the way round, as far as your arms will let you go, whilst keeping your shoulders on the floor, which may only be up to 12 o'clock, but it may be all the way across to 9 o'clock. Don't over push this though. If you've got issues at all with your shoulders, this exercise will show that up. Just go to wherever is comfortable. This is not somewhere to be exploring the edge of your pain. One final rainbow shape here. We'll hold that out, stretching it out, and then back. Good. Open the hands up, open the knee up, and find your way across to the other side. So turning the other way around, I'll just go the other way around to my mat so that I can still see you. So we just do all of that again. Make sure that these knees are in line with the hips and the calves are, or shins are in line with the long edge of the mat. Pushing the left hand away from you. One final little set here, and then when you're back, palms together, it's the rainbow arc. We'll do one more. When you're in your most open position here, we'll just hold it for a few breaths. Really enjoying the stretch. And then come back. Make your way way to lying comfortably on your back. We'll turn the lights off. A few minutes of Shavasana. Focusing on the breath, paying particular attention to the out breath. And what I'd invite you to think about today is pretend that you're breathing in and out through the soles of your feet. So you take a deep breath in and picture the breath coming in through the feet as a silver thread. Perhaps have a little bit of a pause at the top of the breath and then exhale through the nose, but actually you're imagining it going back down through the feet. Again, that silver thread. So breathing in through the feet and exhaling through the feet. Helpful to you to continue with that imagining of the breath through the feet, you can do so, or you can just switch off from that and relax. Your breath just be normal. Soften the joints, soften the face. Melt into the floor, as if your skin and your bones are softening and melting into the floor. Taking a couple of deeper breaths and being aware of the energy flow in the body as you bring some movement to your fingers and your toes. And I'll invite you to do whatever you would like to do now to just waken the body up again, whether that's stretching, flexing, rocking, moving whatever way you would like. Ready, bring yourself via come onto your side or sitting up, comfortable seated position. We'll inhale as we raise the hands above our head. Exhale the hands down to heart center. We'll do that one more time. Inhaling up. Exhale the hands to heart center. The thumbs going in towards the breastbone, pressing the palms together, dropping the head towards the heart, and we'll say Namaste